Maybe I'll stand this way.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Hello, everyone. We are back today at Seasoned Professional. That's not how I want to start it. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Seasoned Professional. My name is Hannah Octavia, and we are here today in a little bit of a different capacity because we are not in studio. We are actually in the North Lanes of Brighton at Simon Webster Hair with the lovely Simon Webster.
Hi.
We have a very exciting kind of project going on today. Basically, you're chopping off 12 inches of my hair.
Absolutely.
And we're having a little chat with you about your life, your career, your hair salon.
Fantastic.
Everything about it.
Sounds great. What could go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong. I'm glad you said that. But perhaps you could tell us a little bit about this building before we get started and go inside.
Yeah, sure. So this building, I think, was built around about 1850s, the whole street. And a lot of this area used to be for the fishermen of Brighton. Mm-hmm. There's a row behind us of houses that are back there that I think used to hang their fishing nets up through there.
Oh, wow.
But we've got a history of this building going back right to 1850s of how old this building is and how it's amazing it's still put together now. So, but the whole of this street is built on bungaroos, which is a material that was built
and starts crumbling away
exactly,
and then falls to the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, it's glass, it's sand from the beach, it's flint. You try and drill a hole and you end up 4 foot the other way. So yeah. But it's a great building. They've got so much character to it, and I'd like to show you around.
Fabulous. And tell me, what's that?
So up here we've got a fantastic tribute to Vivienne Westwood, painted by the Postman, local artist who does some incredible work. We commissioned him to do this for us, and we're really pleased with the whole thing. You know, I worked with Vivienne Westwood on shows for quite a few years over the years, and it seemed an absolute perfect tribute to her to be on the wall.
It really suits the place.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It really does. And it goes in with the aesthetics of the whole street, really.
Yeah.
You know, the whole street has vibrancy, it has colour, it has life, has art, has everything. It's a good street.
It is a good street. And you just grew up a few minutes from here, right?
Yeah. I mean, I spent, there's a shop down the road here that a friend of mine from school, his mum and dad used to have. I think it was punctured where the snail is on the wall.
Okay, interesting.
It used to be a fruit and veg and florist. We used to go down there on a Saturday, sweeping up the peelings and stuff. We thought it was East End Barrow Boys at the time. But yeah, it was great. It was vibrant. The whole street was vibrant. Used to get a time when you used to have like you knew what sort of music someone was listening to by what they were wearing. You'd have your punks, your mods, your skinheads, your smoothies, whoever it is, and it'd all be down the street. You could see them, and it was really vibrant. And it still is. There's still a nod for it today, but not as prevalent as it is now. So yeah.
Do you remember what this was when you were a kid?
I think I do. Yeah, I think it was a shop which sold shoes, which is actually called Arseholes.
Stop.
Seriously,
Arseholes.
yeah. AR Soles. SOLES.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's quite funny.
So yeah, it's been many a thing. I think it's been a butcher's, it's been a greengrocer's. Oh, and actually underneath here there's a staircase that goes down into the basement. So that's where they used to have. I think there was this here maybe, one of these here.
Yeah.
They used to put coal down there, and it goes down into underneath the salon cellar.
Crazy.
Yeah, creepy as well.
Very creepy. Perhaps you can show me the basement.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the basement.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
After you. We're getting up close and personal because we get to see the employee quarters.
Excuse the mess.
All right, now remind me, this was for...
So I won't go through there because
no, don't go through there.
That's a dark dungeon underneath there. And actually behind there is a staircase that would have gone up to the path.
Absolutely crazy.
So it's got a lot of history, yeah.
Oh, I don't want to know what's back there. Anyway, now tell me, this is for your 40 years of hairdressing celebration, correct?
Yeah, so this year we celebrated my 40th year of hairdressing, or being in the hairdressing industry. And this is where it all started. These are just actual prints that we've taken off throughout the time of Simon Webster Hair. And this was many, many years ago. This is 40 years ago when I first started. Note the highlights. So yeah, I mean, there's some good fun stuff on here, but it kind of, all the photographs show you work at backstage at Fashion Week, whether it be London, Paris, Milan. It'll be working behind the scenes on photo shoots. The teams I've worked with, some of the editorials we've shot. It's got a whole host of interest throughout the whole 40 years, really.
And this one is so interesting. It looks like it's just a joke.
Yeah.
But that's the reality of behind the scenes, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the chaos behind the scenes of Fashion Week is always something that's quite murderous. You know, there's myself, my friend Simon, you've got a makeup artist, you've got other photographers and that around. It tends to be a bit like a Grand Prix. You know, the change of the wheels and the tyres and everything else on, you know, on the pit stops. You have floor producers, you have everyone there that's working backstage. And if you're running behind time, it becomes murderous.
That's what, and they're under the stairs. The people that have not survived.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, it's just absolutely insane. And of course, you've done some big things. We've got Kylie Jenner over there.
Yeah.
It is pretty crazy to like see the variety that you've done, because we've got like the high fashion, but then we also have whatever is going on here.
Yeah, this is for a show. I was sponsored by KMS. And they running concurrent with Vinanomi, who were, or still are, sorry, a ethical, sustainable fashion house. And we was asked to create headpieces for 75 models. None of the hair that we made could be bought. We had to make all these pieces ourselves out of recycled hair. We begged, billed and borrowed still, sorry, from various different people, wigs, theatre groups, people have donated stuff. So, you know, we were making all these kind of wig pieces and stuff like that for these pieces. I mean, there is a shot here somewhere that kind of shows where we were working up in the office. I took the top room of my salon over, and we had a team up there. We spent 6 weeks building all these headpieces, but they were enormous. I mean, there's a box photograph here. This is at the Dorchester Hotel.
Look at that.
Of me and my wife. And this was just a small part of the boxes. We had 2 vans full of headpieces to take up to Dorchester. So
that is absolutely wild.
It was absolutely bonkers. But it was fun. You know, the show came off an absolute treat and everyone looked amazing.
Well, 40 years of like accomplishment. It's pretty special.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. An actual fact, when you see it all photographed out like this, you kind of realise how much you really have done. You know, I mean, this, apart from the odd photograph here and there, this is really only sort of the last 15 years or so, really. So, you know, there could be a lot more of this than there is, really. So, yeah, it's been good times. It's been good times with lots of stories.
And before we go up, when you look at this, what's like the one thing that comes to mind? Are you proud? Are you impressed?
I don't think there's one in particular thing that I'm really, really proud of. I think I just look at the whole lot of it, and it kind of it can be a bit overwhelming. You kind of think, you know, you remember exactly what photograph, where you were, what was going on, and it's such a wide range from salon work to session work, where it'd be sort of working on music videos or photo shoots or editorials, to working backstage at gigs, you know, at festivals, to you know, salon stuff, like working with big product companies up in London for shows and stuff, you know, or presentations. So, you know, it covers a massive range of different ideas that we've worked with.
It's just so cool.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I should put all these together in a book, really.
The Simon Webster Hair book. People can flip through it.
Yeah, sure.
Shall we go upstairs?
Absolutely, let's go.
Grab your 15-year-old self.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Wow.
Oh, it's stuck.
That's all right.
That's okay.
Crikey, it's faded. Not grey hair inside.
It's vintage. So we are in the chair, the hair cutting chair, with Simon, and he's got the scissors in his hands. He is ready to go. And you might be thinking, Hannah, it's a bit of a weird hairstyle for prior to a haircut, but we are donating our hair today to the Little Princess Trust, which means I'm cutting off 12 inches of hair. 12 inches of hair.
In one go.
In one go. So I think we need to do the chop, and then we'll get into the interview, because this is too monumental for me to be talking. So just let's do the chop.
In actual fact, you'll be taking your mind off it.
Exactly. So yeah, we are donating to the Little Princess Trust, which is an excellent charity. It's been around for about 20 years, donating wigs to children who have lost their hair from cancer, alopecia, or any other occurrence that might happen. A little pause there. That's okay.
That's
okay. And yeah, it's just an excellent foundation. So I'm very pleased to be giving back a little bit.
Are you
I'm
ready?
I'm ready.
Are you
I'm
ready?
ready.
Right, let's go.
Oh, Lord, help me.
3, 2, 1.
That's a lot of hair back there.
It certainly is. Okay, look.
Look at that.
That's yours. You can wear his little chin thing, little bow tie.
Oh, man.
Voila. There she is.
That's pretty good, you know.
That looks pretty good, doesn't it?
And you know, that's virgin hair right there.
It certainly is.
It's virgin
Now
hair.
we're going to do a really lovely haircut on it.
Sounds good.
Great, fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Right, let's get you just rinsed.
Rinsed?
through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
How you feeling now?
How am I feeling? It feels so much lighter. I was really surprised that he was chopping for so long. Like he just kept going. And I'm like, surely you're through. But apparently not. Oh my gosh. You know what? This was a much smoother experience. The first time that I donated my hair, the hairdresser was like, really like, we have to do it now. We have to do it now. Oh, I don't know. Like it was just a very strange experience. So you're already A+ from me.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, you're already
Thank you
A+.
very much. Cheers. Well, I've worked the other side of it as well. I've worked with a lot with women who've had chemotherapy, you know, breast cancer. I've cut a lot of wigs in for people as well.
What is that like, do you think? Is it...
It's quite harrowing. I mean, to be conscious, I think, you know, if anyone's going through breast cancer or such like that, or alopecia, or any you know, hair complaint like that, I think that, you know, it's enough medically to have to be going through that already. But to actually look in the mirror and not recognise yourself is always a bit of a problem as well, you know. And it's just like you think, well, I can't do anything medical, but I can try and help you feel or look a bit more like yourself as you normally do, you know. So, you know, it means a lot to a lot of people as well. So I've been down and done talks down at the breast cancer clinic opposite Preston Park and explained that it doesn't have to cost you a fortune to get a wig cut and shaped in, you know. I don't charge anything extra. I do it because I know how much it means to someone, you know. And that's part of what I got into this industry in the first place for, really, is, you know, how you can make someone feel good about themselves by what you do.
Yeah.
And the rest of it was just a bonus, really.
Well, even like you said, when we were outside speaking about what someone wears, you know, the music that they listen to, it tells someone a lot about their personality.
Absolutely,
it's like
yeah, for
hair
sure.
carries the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, it's nice that you're able to support women, and not just women, I'm thinking about breast cancer, but anyone who's kind of going through that experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that you do it in like a private setting as well is really nice.
Yeah, we have a room upstairs that we use, and, you know, if anyone does want any privacy, you know, I've got a lady that comes in, she's got about 3 or 4 different wigs, and she's got different names for them, you know. So, you know, it's great who we're doing today, you know.
Oh, it's Jane.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, maybe
yeah,
she's
great.
more exciting names than that.
And I
thank you
think,
for watching it.
I think just touching on that note also, I think what's really nice about it is, I hate to say we're on a journey because it's quite a thing that everyone says, really, but I think in this case it is.
Yeah.
You know, I had a lady come in once who said that she'd had cancer, she was going through chemo, and I'd say 80% of her hair was grey. But she used to colour it brunette herself, and she kept the sides naturally grey.
Yeah.
Looked great. I don't know if you remember, there's a country singer called Bonnie Raitt for the hair like that. It was just, it was like that anyway.
Yeah.
She said, there's no way we're going to be able to find a wig like that. So I said, well, listen, let's go. I went with her to the wig shop in Brighton, and I just said, look, I'll choose the wig for you. We're going to replicate exactly what you have. We got the right colour. I cut it and shaped it, and I made some hair wefts which I sewed into the wig, which was a natural grey.
Wow.
And she continued working for quite a while afterwards. And some of the women at her work said, oh my God, you haven't lost any hair. She said, I've lost all of it.
Wow.
She said that I just feel like me with a good hair day.
Yeah.
You know, and she cried, she sobbed, and I was like really emotional. But, you know, I felt $1 million myself to be able to make her feel that she can look in the mirror and still recognise herself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it worked well.
Oh, gosh, that's quite the story.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But, yeah. Goodness. I suppose, since I have lost all of my hair now, not all of it, but we've cut off half my head, we can start at the beginning of your story. You grew up just a little bit ways down from here. Tell me, what was your childhood like? If you could describe it in a few words.
Yeah, chaotic.
Chaotic? Positive chaotic or negative?
Negative,
Okay.
I'd say, yeah. I was the only child to my mum, but the fourth child to my dad.
Oh, goodness.
Well, that's another story in itself.
Yeah.
So, I grew up in Brighton. I spent all my time in Brighton. And I think, childhood was a bit rubbish, really, I have to say. But I think my escapism for me was really music. I think for me, that was always the big thing for me. I think, there's a couple of lodgers, sisters that were at my stepdad's house where we lived, and they were art students. And being the only child, I was really fascinated about what they were doing, their music they were listening to, and watch them do their art. And they used to invite me in and say, let's come in, let's, we can show you what we're doing. And fascinated by it. And I think I was around about 9 or 10. And I was watching them do some artwork in their room. And it was coming up to my birthday. And for my birthday, my first records I ever got was David Bowie, Diamond Dogs. And Talking Heads 77, and they both bought me them albums. I think it was either my 9th or 10th birthday, and I still have them albums today. I'm still a massive record collector. But to me, that was escapism. Doesn't matter what's going on around the world, or in your house, or in around the environments. You get your head into the music, and that takes you off to another journey. I think music has always been really, really the forefront of my life, really. So that was my escapism, really, for a long time as a child. Loved art. Wasn't really that academic. And then I decided that, it was only my mum and my nan at this time that we were living together with, and they didn't have any money, so we didn't have any money at all. So I was sort of doing all sorts of jobs here and there. And then I ended up going to a hair salon, which to get my hair cut. And it was always busy. It was thriving. I think there was about 6 hairdressers there. This guy called David Fowler. He was, he almost became a bit of a father figure for me, I think, for many, many years. And he sort of took me under his wing, and I begged him for a job and eventually got a job. I was 15 as a Saturday boy. And then when it came to leaving school, I knew exactly what I wanted to do because I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the buzz of the place. I loved the environment. I loved the feel of how people felt amazing, the laughter in the salon, how you can make someone feel so good about themselves by what you've done. And that in itself is a gift. To go to work and come home again and know that you've made someone really, really happy. And I'm really proud. We get incredible Google reviews all the time. And it's so nice that you think 40 years later, you're still getting that response then. So, I left school and it was inevitable I started working there, which I spent 12 years working with and learnt my craft.
Wow. And do you remember, so obviously it was kind of the feeling that attracted you to the hair salon to begin with.
Yeah, sure.
Do you remember learning the actual craft? Like, was it something that you enjoyed because of the artistry of it, or what was it that kind of made you stick?
I think for me, I think now, although I'm going through an assessment with the doctor, but it's quite prevalent the fact that ADHD is quite a big thing in my life. And I go back over looking at my school reports and how it says, could do better, lacks attention, always joking around. And I think for me, I was never really going to be that person who was going to be an accountant or a doctor, something like that. And I think for me, I was always a visual learner. So when it came to sort of starting my career as a hairdresser, I learnt so much more visually watching as opposed to reading anything out of a book. I think my concentration skills would have gone just reading out of a book, but visually learning and watching how something's created from scratch, I got it, I understood it, and I thought, right, now I can recreate that, And it was just down to technique of how to cut it was the way that I needed to learn, really. So, but I think, again, when I've got a bee in my bonnet about something, I hyper focus on things, If it's something I'm really, really interested in, I'm just completely obsessed with it, And I think for 40 years, even till now, there's still things I'd love to learn to have done over the years, Things change, techniques change and everything else. But, I've just learned so much over the years, and it's now got to the stage now where I really enjoy teaching the up and coming talent we've got within the salon.
Yeah.
To be that person that, that was there for me when I wanted to do it.
Yeah. Well, what a full circle moment.
Oh, absolutely. Incredible. Yeah.
Do you still have a relationship with David?
Funny enough, I haven't seen him for many years now. The last time I saw him, he came in here maybe about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's so lovely to see him after all these years. I mean, he's in his mid-80s now. The last I heard, I think, unfortunately, he's suffering dementia now. So, I don't know how much he would ever remember, but we had many, many happy years. And I think, I think he saw something in me, my determination, the fact that I was constantly asking and had such a thirst for knowledge of needing to know what things and how things worked and how we did this, and not just, you've got to do this, it's why you've got to do it and the effect you're going to get from it as well.
Do you think you had that sense of determination in school, or do you think it was really brought out when you were working at the salon?
I think it was brought out in the salon. Yeah. I must admit, I had, I think the only sort of lessons I really enjoyed, I enjoyed history, don't know why, but I think a reason why, I think my stepdad was a builder, and he'd go out to Germany doing his brickwork stuff and that, and he'd bring back tobacco and stuff like that, and I'd sell some of it to my history teacher.
Stop, that's hilarious.
Seriously, yeah. Yeah, and I always got good marks in history.
Well,
he was great.
Why.
Someone that more of that cool one, So but that and art, which to me, again was, growing up with the art students and everything else, that was real inspiration. And I think with the music, it pushed me on to do that.
God, that's wow. And L'Oreal, because you started working as a L'Oreal ID artist when you were very young. You were one of the first round.
Yeah, I think the ID artist started. Wow, crikey! It was quite years ago now. It was over 25 years ago, I think, when they first did it, and it was I had a salon in Chichester at the time.
Okay.
And I'd been very fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do. Kylie Minogue's Showgirl tour was on, and the big screens that you see behind the stage before she comes out, there was a movie that came out, and I got asked to do the hair for the big screens for her tour. And it was the time when she had her cancer, so it was kind of it was not going to be her, it was always going to be a dancer. But at that time, I don't know whether it had been heard of, but obviously there wasn't social media then, so it wasn't anything to be able to shout about. But I was approached by L'Oreal because L'Oreal had started this new program called the ID Artists. And basically what the ID Artist was a 2-year mentoring program held by session stylists. So it was a whole new world to me. Session styling in itself is a completely different world to salon work. Session styling is doing hair for photo shoots, for fashion magazines, editorials, music videos, fashion week, and it's a whole new box of tricks to learn from that. I had a couple of really good mentors. Rudy Lewis was one of them. And I think that, from that, I kind of really got the bug for it. Zoe Irwin was the other one as well. The two of them were mentors. And she'd asked me, actually, Zoe said, look, do you want to come out on a show? And I was like, wow, okay. Not really knowing what was prepared of it. And I've turned up with this show. It was Ziad Ghanem. That was the show. And I never knew. I just turned up with a kit of hairdressing stuff, not knowing that, you need so much more. And then over the years of doing it, your kit has grown and grown and grown. I'm going to have 4 enormous North Face bags full of kit, from wire to steamer to glue hair, glue wigs, hair pieces, you know, and all the stuff that everything else in between.
Yeah.
It's enormous amount of kit. So, you know, it was an incredible journey doing the ID artist. And from that moment onwards, I continued to carry on doing session work. I always worked with many, many people, which were really, really inspiring over the years. Many names I could say of Duffy, Gary Gill, many people that I've worked with, I've learned a lot from them over the years. And it's a whole new story to me. It was just incredible. It's, you know, it's to sort of take your hairdressing head off and come back into session world, and it's a completely different thing, you know.
Well, it's such a fast-paced world, and it's very collaborative.
Yeah.
And tell me, is it the first time you went on it? Like, you obviously came with this tiny little kit. You had no idea what to expect. What were the thoughts going through your head during that first?
Yeah, I was petrified, to be quite honest, because I just didn't know. I felt like I was totally out of my league here with this. It's just like, as much as I was so inspired by it, I wasn't really sure how it run. You know, there's certain words that, like, you know, call sheets and, you know, stuff that's coming up, words that are just whole new language as well, you know, with stuff's going about. It's like, what's that? And I think I was so enamoured by it. I just thought it's incredible. Looks amazing, the buzz of it. It was like being in a busy salon.
Yeah.
But
like times a million.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on speed.
And there's like the pressure, you've got the deadline. It's like you got an hour to get this done.
Yeah.
And I can imagine it would be exhilarating.
It is exhilarating. I after doing the first show, I was like, oh my God, I love this. This is incredible. This is where I want to be, you know. And I think a lot of people who first start doing session work, there's two routes you can take. You either are a salon owner or you're a session stylist. And there's some that do both, and I decided to do both because I still had a world of clients I was still seeing too. And I really enjoyed the buzz of bringing what I did at Fashion Week back to the salon. Of course, the clients love to hear the stories and, you know, the backstage dramas and who you're working with. And of course, for some clients, they like to name drop, you know, and it's, my hairdresser just worked on the Vivienne Westwood show or, you know, done the shoot for Gucci or something. They love the name dropping. Yeah. And I found that it was a benefit because people wanted to come in and have their hair done by that, see?
Yeah. It's like your hands touched this person's
exactly,
head.
Yeah. That brush has been through so-and-so's hair, you know.
Don't clean it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Clean.
I have a strand of hair from them, you know.
I'm going to clone it at home.
Exactly, yeah, that's right.
So,
you know, and that was the start of it, I think. We then carried on, started working on photo shoots and stuff. I'd already doing photo shoots, my own kind of personal projects when I had the salon in Chichester. It was Hopper's Creative Workshop, it was called, and it was quite a 70s retro kind of feel about it. It's quite a fun building. Yeah. Spiral staircase going up through the whole building, and it was open log burner fire and stuff like that. And it was really cool. It was really cool. And I think it knocked Chichester at the time because it was very home county style hairdressing at the time. And of course, this guy from Brighton's come down with his spiky hair and his studded belts and stuff like that turned up, and they think...
Is that when you had the nice moustache too?
Yeah, no, that was back to Brighton. That was
back to Brighton, okay. You didn't go that crazy when you
No. I'm going to add a bit of texture to this. Are you happy with this length?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do...
It feels so weird.
Yeah.
Like...
You're going to need a scarf now.
I know. Oh, my God. What
I'm actually going to do now...
Yeah.
Is I'm going to use this calligraphy pen.
Okay.
So this... relatively new.
This is... For those of us who haven't heard of this before, which I have not... You are one of the very few artists in the UK who actually knows how to use this thing.
I think it's growing now. I've had that for probably about 2 years, maybe.
Okay.
It's an incredible design by a guy called Frank Borman who started Calligraphy Cut. Great hairdresser in his own rights as well. So when we first saw this, I was like, it's just another razor, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the technology is far beyond it. Without getting too technical mad about it, the blade actually goes in at a 21-degree angle.
Okay.
So when the hair's cut, when you cut through it, it's like sculpting. You're you're cutting the hair at a 21-degree angle, but it allows the hair to have more flex.
Okay.
So it's not cut off blunt. It's a completely
Yeah.
seamless finish. It helps preventage of split ends.
Okay.
And I get the most amazing textures from this as well. And what I love about it is like, I suppose where hairdressing is an art form.
Yeah.
If this was clay,
Yeah.
I'm sculpting.
It's interesting how you hold it as well, because is that how you would hold a razor?
Yes, similar.
Similar,
But
okay.
this is kind of, I mean, feel it. It's quite a weight to it.
Gosh, I would just hack up someone's hair with this. Like, it would be such a disaster.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's a brilliant tool. I just find that, I've had some fantastic results from it.
Yeah.
A girl come in who came down from London for a haircut, and she
Yeah.
had hair to about here, and
Wow.
obviously poke straight. And she just wanted movement. And by using a technique of sort of zigzagging through the hair,
Yeah.
I reduced the weight, and all of a sudden it created this incredible texture. It was almost like she'd had like a sort of semi-permanent on it sort of thing, just give it a
Yeah.
bit of movement. And, it's been incredible. So it's great for curls. I love working with curls, and it releases the weight and gives the hair a lot more movement to it as well, and vibrancy. But, it's fabulous. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm not going to reduce any length. I'm going to reduce a little bit of weight out here.
Yeah.
And it'll give it a bit more movement and a bit more
body.
texture. Absolutely, yeah, exactly.
Fabulous. I literally can't get over how weird it feels. I'm like,
It's liberating.
Now, do you have longer hair than me?
Yeah.
You have longer hair
I
than
do,
me.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
All four of them.
And you opened the salon,
Yeah.
Simon Webster Hair, in 2012 with
Yeah.
your lovely wife, Sophie.
Absolutely.
And actually, the story of how you and Sophie met is quite exciting.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? So, at the time, I'd kind of taken a bit of a back step from dating and that. I was just like, I really can't be arsed for this. It's kind of like, I've had a couple of relationships. I just thought, no, it's not for me. I'm just going to break. And
Yeah.
at the time, I just started DJing more and doing more session work. And then I was working in a salon when I first came back to Brighton, and I had this client come in who I thought was like, she's really quirky, she's really cool.
Yeah.
She's an artist, and I thought, this is perfect. And we used to chat about music and art and all sorts of things.
And so obviously you opened this salon, not saloon. You opened this salon in 2012 in the lovely Brighton. We're in the North Lanes at the moment, with your lovely wife, Sophie. And it's a very fun story of how you met. So please do share the story of Simon and Sophie.
Yeah, so I'd had a year of kind of thinking to myself, I'm done with relationships now, and I was sort of just quite happy doing my own thing. Mm-hmm. I was out DJing. I was in the rockabilly scene for quite a few years and DJing that around Brighton, all over the place. And I was working for a salon in Brighton when I first came back to Brighton. So it's kind of, I was working with this guy, and this client used to come in, and I thought she was really cool, really quirky. We used to get on really well, and she was an artist, and we just kind of really clicked. Really, never really thought much anything more of it. And then she came in New Year's Eve to have her hair done with a friend of hers, and this is the story I've heard. Okay.
Oh, okay.
She came in New Year's Eve with her friend, and thought, right, okay, we're going to get her hair done for New Year's Eve party. They've gone out that night, and I ended up doing Sophie's hair, and she said to her friend, "He's quite cute." So I knew nothing about this. And then we started chatting next time she came in, and I was DJing one night. She said she'd come along, and it cancelled. And I thought, oh, well, that's that. And then we ended up seeing each other again at a gig. And then from that moment on, we literally carried on seeing each other. I mean, we literally moved in together. We got engaged and got the lease for this place within 6 months. It was like from Sophie was having a year of saying yes.
Yeah. Oh,
where she would normally go, no, she'd put things off.
Yeah.
She was actually in the process of potentially moving out to South America, because at the time she was working for an English language school.
Okay.
And she was going to go out to South America, travel and teach English.
Within 6 months, you were engaged, living together, and co-founders of Simon Webster Hair.
Absolutely, yeah.
That is a commitment if I ever heard one.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Don't, don't hold back.
Don't hold back. And it's been what? Almost 15 years?
Yeah, 14, nearly 15 years we've been together. The salon's been open. It'll be 14 years next week, yeah.
Wow.
Next year, sorry, in April.
What was it like kind of starting a business while juggling this new relationship, while juggling living together? How did that all work?
Well, it was certainly a test.
Yeah.
That's to say the least, The salon itself was a clothes shop beforehand. So the top floor wasn't even open to general public. So we had to actually put flooring in upstairs as well. There was no flooring there at all. And it was a big deal, I think off the back of working with Samantha Hillaby on the Adele Vogue shoot was a big number because we kind of, it was a big thing. It was the first time I'd ever worked on a Vogue cover. And it was just like, wow, it was incredible,
And actually, just about the Vogue cover, because I think a lot of people, including myself, I would hear that and think, oh, peak of the career, that is absolute dream.
Yeah.
Is that the reality? Was that like the highlight of your career? How do you feel about that?
I think it opened up a few doors, to say the least.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the highlight career other than the fact that, Samantha Hillaby led that and I was working with that, and there was Charlotte Tilbury doing makeup. Okay. It was a great shoot, and it was the first time I think I'd ever worked with a big celebrity like that, and she was so down to earth. She was so easy to get on with. She got a mouth like a fisherman's wife, but she was absolutely brilliant.
But how fun is that?
Oh, it's just brilliant.
That's kind of what you hope for.
Yeah,
when you meet someone of that caliber.
There's been a few that I've worked with that haven't been like that as well.
Yeah.
I think, you can't get starstruck with these things. Apart from, I know it sounds name dropping, but talking about working with different people.
Yeah.
I've never been starstruck with everyone other than the fact that working with Nick Cave, because Nick Cave is like, I loved Nick, he's one of my favourite artists, and to actually work with him was incredible for 2 years. And he's moved out of Brighton now, but
did you find it hard to, come in authentically and like be your authentic self around him?
No, not really. I think, I've been doing years and years of working with various different people. So I didn't find it difficult. I mean, it wasn't a case of like, little schoolgirl gooey-eyed or anything. It was just the fact, I think I was just, this guy's mate. I mean, he's a guy, normal bloke like anyone else,
Yeah.
I'd turn up and he's just got a vest and a pair of shorts on or something. It's just like, it was.
And in terms of your in-session work, before we continue on with, your salon and all that, what do you think is the most memorable experience that you've had?
In session work? I think one that always sticks to mind was working out in Paris. Each year I worked in Paris twice a year because you've got, 2 seasons to work with.
Yeah.
And this particular year I was working on Duffy's team. Duffy was a fantastic hairdresser, absolutely genius. And he always led the hair, and I think he still does actually, for Rick Owens. So Rick Owens shows were always incredible, and they were Palais de Tokyo in Paris, which is quite a brutalist kind of art building. It's an incredible building. It's just concrete everywhere. It was just amazing. And Rick Owens shows were always quite off the wall.
Yeah.
And then this particular year, there was riots going on in Paris. There were no taxi drivers anywhere because they were in dispute with Uber.
Yeah.
And we heard that taxi drivers had got an Uber car and set light to it outside Garden or turning its side. And we're having to move all our kit around over cobbled streets trying to get to, So during the show, one of Rick Owens' muse turned up late and walked down the runway with a bit of cloth, which I think he said the words "Death to Angela Merkel" not, which we had no idea what that was about.
Yeah.
When he came back through, huge rows going on, shouting and screaming. It was just horrendous. And we had all this trouble with the taxis outside, and so the agency I was working with in London, Streeters, there, one of the producers said, look, we've got an Uber booked to take us back to Gardenhall. We know you're going back on the same Eurostar. Do you want to get in with us? And I said, oh, yes, please. So we'd gotten this Uber and it was really, really lovely. It was like classical music and like darkened windows. I was like, gosh, a really great Uber, this.
Yeah.
And we were following this car because there's lots of wigs that we used for the show. We're taking them back. And I thought, well, Gardenhall's over there. We're going this way. And I think the producer said to the driver, what name is his car booked under? And they said, Mr. Rick Owens. So we'd actually, not only had his show ruined, we took his car as well. So it's like, I mean, they went back and got him in the end anyway. But it was like, but in the next season, I had to spend an hour and a half of him standing next to me while we're doing there's a thing called a lookbook.
Okay.
Which is all the clothing that's made for that season is shot individually before the show, because you've got all the models there, you're doing the show, you can, and he was there for over an hour watching. Now it's like, oh, please don't mention about last season. So, but yeah, I mean, I honestly, there's so many memorable moments on working on the session circuit that, it's just been really, really fun. I kind of retired from doing shows about 3 years ago. I think the last thing I did was working with Gary Gill for Balenciaga for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Incredible. I mean, long hours. You're working you're getting up at 6 and sometimes not finished till 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then doing the same thing over and over again. So a lot of hard work. We had something like 300 models, I think, because it was filming. I think Denma, who was the designer for Vetements, is now the lead, or has been for the last few years, the lead designer for Balenciaga now. And I think they found a video from, I can't remember what era, it might have been the 90s, early 90s, and they wanted to recreate that show. So we had to do people that would have been the audience on the runway, the security people, and it's each one had to have a different character. And we spent 3 days in the film studios filming these people as well. It was madness, absolute madness.
But it's so cool that that was someone's idea and then you were part of creating it, making it come to life. Yeah.
And I think the more shows you do,
yeah,
like working with Gary and Duffy now, I think, you kind of got to know what they liked, their ideas, because they built up a fantastic relationship with the designers.
Yeah.
So, they've already discussed this way beforehand. They've taken test models down to do test looks to show the designers if they want that, if that's the kind of thing, or give them alternative options to what could look good. Yeah. So, and then it's down to the lead stylist and then to go back to the team and say, this is the look we're doing. But you only get to see that just before the show. So you need to have all your techniques, everything in your box to be able to know what to do from start to finish.
Yeah. No, you need to have confidence in yourself. And,
absolutely, sure.
That just comes from experience, from being open to learning, from, exposing yourself to all these things that you've experienced in your life.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I suppose since you have done quite a few shoots for your own personal brand, we're lucky enough to be surrounded by a bunch of the work that you've done. Yeah. Where do you come up with those ideas? Where do these come from? Specifically the carnies. That is just... So this was a really great fun shoot to do. And the thing is, I don't ever use agency models. Okay. All these people were clients. That's
apart from these two who were friends of ours anyway, and as well. So I had this idea of listening to Tom Waits. Yeah. And I love listening to his grouchy voice and how he kind of seemed to picks up on these sort of carnival people. And I know, again, Nick Cave also is touched on this moment as well. But I had fancied the idea of doing a shoot on Eastern European carnival people at the turn of the century. So I wanted to create characters, and I love creating characters within our shoots. So each shoot tends to have a narrative. This was shot with my very good friend, Kenny McCracken, who does a lot of my photography. the styling we got from a place in Portslade, did a fancy dress shop.
Yeah.
But they kind of realised what we wanted as well. So this guy actually owns a pub in Brighton.
Brilliant.
And he was the ringmaster. Bethan is a friend of ours. We wanted the hair to look really ragged, but kind of a bizarre shape. Unfortunately, on this photograph, you can't see it was crisscross laced all the way through.
Oh, wow.
But she was the tarot card reader. But these doll's heads we put on here was ridiculous. So
That's stuff of nightmares.
I know,
Like,
I know,
truly.
yeah. So she actually had a Chelsea haircut, which is a skinhead haircut.
Okay.
So she, hair around the edges, but the rest of that behind there was like a number 2 clipper. And this was her boyfriend, who had no head, literally shaved off. So what I wanted to do was make her hair look really dirty. But I bought these doll's heads from a charity shop. And the guy said, what are you going to do with them? I said, well, I'm going to cut the tops out and pull hair through. And I think he didn't fall short kicking me out the shop, really.
Yeah. Oh.
But the idea was just to pull some of her hair through the doll's head, so it's part of that.
Okay.
And this was a wig made with a zip to determine where the pattern was going to be. So, but the whole film we'd done a film of it, which was kind of really stop-start, really slow kind of filming.
Yeah.
And we used them from fantastic, quite eerie carnival music. But it was just fun to do, it's just, and we like doing a bit of film with some of our shoots we do. But yeah, it's just fun.
It's nice that you get to have this kind of creative output for yourself.
Absolutely,
where it's
sure.
strictly your own idea.
Yeah.
And you get to work with the people that. It's nice to have that for, even though you are doing creative stuff all the time, it's like you still have these images in your mind that you want to recreate. Yeah,
and I think listening to music is a big thing. I think, I'm going to art exhibitions as well. I created a whole collection once just by looking at a painting. It was about that much of the painting in Tate Modern. In the corner, it's like looking at how light translucent through transcends. Thank you.
That's it.
Transcends through the light transcends through hair, and how you can make these shapes with hair. And to me, we created a whole collection from that. It was absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, just good fun. And I think working with wigs as well. I learned a lot from Fashion Week, working with wigs, and now the techniques of even down to wig wrapping. To get someone's hair flat to their head to put a wig cap on. And you get a bit more freedom. You're not always going to get models that don't want their hair like that.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up creating wigs that you do your own thing then.
Gosh, it's a whole new world. It's always so awkward sitting and staring at yourself for so long.
Yeah.
It's like identity crisis. It's so different.
Yeah, just get used to it. Just put a little bit of finish on there.
It's bizarre when I put my coat on.
This is called happy endings.
Happy endings. Oh, perfect. Little happy endings for the rest of our podcast. So when you opened in 2012, you did some things that were quite revolutionary for the time. One of which being gender neutral pricings and eco products. And you were very environmental and sustainable. And you also just had this from kind of feeling the vibe here, it just feels very accepting and there's judgment-free zone. I've been into some salons and it doesn't always feel that way. So why do you think that was an important thing to capture, especially after you already had 2 salons previously?
I think, it's knowing your environment, and Brighton's been my life. I'm born and bred here, and I think you need to know who your audience is.
Yeah.
I think that the gender neutral pricing came in also with the fact that how can you justify the same price for a haircut for a guy who's got hair this length and a lady's got hair this length? Yeah. We likened it to, I'm covered in tattoos, a load of ink, and a lot of the staff are as well. But you don't get a men's price and a women's price for tattooing.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
And I think that it made perfect sense to do that, and I think it's worked really well for us. And I think it's expected now, even down to the products we use, everything is environmentally friendly, it's very sustainable. We won a huge international award for our sustainability within the salon. For what we do, all our hair gets sent off into a company called Green Salmon Collective, and they fill tights and stockings make hair booms for rivers that soak up chemicals or oil spillages. The rest of it goes to local park, Stammer Park, who have a fantastic horticultural centre up there. And we go up there once a month with huge bags of hair, and they use it to put in with their grass cuttings, and they mulch it all together to make a compost. So often I've gone up there and there's blonde or blue or whatever colour hair within the mulch, which is quite funny to see.
That's wild.
But yeah, I think, it is expected, and I think it's something we're really proud of doing that.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because you're giving back, It's like a full circle thing of like whatever you use is then being repurposed for something else.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not like it just feels like it's a very safe environment for people to come and be their true selves. You have the silent service for people that don't like auditory stimulation and who just kind of want to chill. And I think that's something that people really don't talk about. I think people in this seat feel like it's hard to speak up. Like the amount of times that my head has been burning, and not today, I will say, but the amount of times that I'm like, I cannot say anything because it's the vibe, It comes down to the atmosphere. It's bright, it's airy, it's creative. You've chosen the music specifically to suit your clients and to suit the vision that you have for this place.
Sure. And I think you've got to be a good listener. You really have to be a good listener because, some people already know what they're going to do before they even started with their client. And you think, well, listen to the client, listen to their needs. Are they going to do their hair? Are you going to be able to do this haircut and go, well, I'm not going to be able to create that now? Don't create something that's unexpected or unachievable for when they get home to do it,
Yeah.
But, we do end up becoming counsellors. I could write a book on the stories of it, but yeah, exactly.
I've been,
I know, yeah, exactly. But a hairdresser's secrecy is like a doctor's, so yeah, absolutely.
And, you've been in this industry for 40 years.
Yeah.
And you've probably gotten to the point, as you said, you love to teach, where people are looking up to you for direction and for inspiration. How does it feel to be in that role now?
I love that. I love seeing members of staff really achieve and go on to achieve. We've had some that have gone off and open up their own salons now, which is fantastic.
Wow,
and it's great to see them. I'd love to keep in contact with them, make sure everything's going right. And, they've achieved some incredible stuff. Phil, one of our guys, has been with us from day one, started session work when he started here, and he's gone on to do fantastic things with Sam. He's done Chanel, Fendi, some of the biggest shows you can think of. And, he's really flourishing with it. Ree, who works with us, she's been with us for about 9 or 10 years. She pretty much started here. And she's going on to doing her own shoots now. She's educating, and I love listening to her talking. I caught her the other day doing a session with some young members of staff doing a session on history of hair, and I was like, this is fantastic. It was so exciting. I wanted to be in there myself, it sounded brilliant.
I want to learn from you now.
Yeah, but it was great. I'm really, really proud of all of them. They've done so well, and it's great to see how they've got on. My
final question for you, Simon Webster, is, what do you hope for the future? Do you have any goals in mind? Do you have any things brewing?
I'm only in the salon 3 days a week now, but it's actually given me the opportunity to look ahead of doing more personal projects. There's more personal projects coming up, which I'd like to involve the team with as well. More shoots, more film. And actual fact, I think just when you take a step back, you can see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
And I want that to really work creatively for all of them, really.
Amazing. Well, I'm very pleased with this haircut.
Great,
Thank you
fabulous.
very much. I'm going to be walking down the street like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
You're just
show it off.
Yeah, exactly.
I probably think you've got something wrong with you doing that.
Probably. That's okay. I'll just say, go to Simon Webster and you'll be looking like this.
Yeah.
Well,
fantastic.
Thank you so much for today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
It was so much fun. And now I'll just...
There you go. You can just clip it on if you like.
Oh, look, that's actually
it's
cute.
It's still there. It does,
Is that cute?
Yeah, it works. Just clip it in.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching, for listening, for being here today. And we will see you after the Christmas break, actually.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, Simon.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, I don't know.